Hello, and welcome to chemistry. Rather than talking to you all period on day one, like many of your other classes, we're going to do a lab. And so for the classroom policy and procedures, we're going to go over it in this short video. This presentation is available on Schoology under class resources, or if at any point you need to pause and spend a little more time on a slide, please feel free to do so. The big thing, you're going to hear me say it a lot of times in this class, is I'm here to help. I've heard lots of horror stories, and some of them are true. Yes, chemistry is hard. It is a difficult subject. For some of you, this may be the first time you're really going to be challenged in a science class. That doesn't mean you can't do science. It just means that you're processing, you're learning. If you were right all the time, then you're wasting your time and you're in the wrong class. Being wrong shows that we're learning. So I celebrate incorrect answers quite a bit. The more you get comfortable with answering my questions that I throw out there, the more comfortable you get at answering them and not worrying about if you're wrong or right, the more successful you will be in this class. I often ask questions so that way I can see where everyone is at. If you refuse to answer me, there's no way I know where you're at and how I can help. Along with that, it's very important that you come in and get help. You'll see at the end of the slide, I will post my availability. I make myself as available as possible for you to come in and get assistance whenever needed. So please utilize that. As far as materials for the course, you'll get your comp book on day one. We'll do a lot of whiteboarding in this class, and sometimes we'll do a lot of color coding or diagramming, so you may want to have colored pencils. I have class sets of colored pencils and dry erase markers, but if you are someone that likes to have your own supply, then please feel free to bring your own. Every day when you enter the room, there will be a daily agenda posted on the front screen. The daily agenda is going to tell you the learning targets that we are focusing on that day, followed by a warm-up. It's important that you come in and do your daily process and sit down and start the warm-up as soon as possible. The warm-up is meant sometimes to preview what you're going to be learning, sometimes to review things that have already been learned, or ways at practicing difficult concepts. A lot of times these warm-ups are a good indicator and a good practice for the unit test. It's important that rather than coming in and socializing, you sit down and work on the warm-up, because you need to give yourself the chance to see what it is you completely understand and any hiccups you may have, so that as we go over it in class, you know where to draw your attention to, so that to study for the test, you know what needs to be clarified ahead of time. Another thing with that is please stay in your seat until the bell rings. I will let you get phones 2 minutes before the bell rings if they're in the phone pockets. They should not be out. They should go immediately in your bag. And you do need to be at your seats and not gathering around the doors. This is a safety hazard, gathering around the doors. And it makes me sad, because it makes me think that you're in such a rush to get out of here that it makes me sad. Don't make me sad. Don't wait by the doors. As you were spoken to at the class meeting, phones need to be off and away. They either need to be in your locker or in the assigned phone pocket. Make sure that they are off. If they are simply silenced and I see them vibrate, hear them vibrate, or if you just have the lights and I see them flash, then I can still confiscate it. Same thing with if it's in your bag. If it goes off while it's in your bag, I can confiscate it. We rarely use iPads in this class, so again, please don't get out iPads. We don't use a lot of electronics in here. We make our own notebooks. We do discussions. So iPads need to be off and away when you come to class so that way you can sit down, do your warm-up, and be ready to go. If you do need your iPad, I will instruct you when you will need it. Bathroom and hall passes. I am a firm believer in you are an adult and I will treat you like an adult until you show me I can't. This is shown very clearly with bathroom and hall passes. You do not have to raise your hand to ask me to go to the bathroom. I am trusting that you, as an almost adult, as a young adult, knows if you need to use the restroom or visit your locker, and if it's important enough to miss class material to do so. All you'll need to do is come up, sign out. You must sign out legibly with your name and the time out. You'll take the pass with you. When you return, you'll return the pass and sign in by placing the time. This is very important. If there's an emergency, I need to know where you're located. If we go into a lockdown, I need to know where you are so I know where to check to make sure you are safe. If you cannot legibly fill out the sign-out sheet, or if you abuse these privileges by doing it every single day, then they can be revoked at any time. So I treat you like an adult until you show me I can't. Food and drink. You're more than welcome to have food and drink out when we're doing things at our student desks, but anytime we're doing labs with any chemicals or materials, any lab equipment, there is not allowed to be any food or drink in the area. Even if we're just working with water, the beakers that you're putting that water in probably have had chemicals in them at some point in time, and it's for your safety and health that we don't have food and drink around lab materials. Each week, there will be a weekly check. The weekly check is a small little quiz, usually 3 to 5 points. It's meant to be a stop point to see if you really are keeping up with what you should be doing with your student responsibilities. If you are studying every night, if you're spending your time on the homework, which we'll go over in a little bit, then these quizzes should not be a stressing factor. It should be a heads up for if you need to come and get help or if you're where you should be. Academic integrity, you were talked to. Participation, again, don't be afraid to be wrong. When I throw questions out there, I need to see what you think. A lot of times I'll ask for multiple answers. It's okay. Being wrong is fine. Those that are the most comfortable with answering and possibly being incorrect are usually the ones that do the best in this class. There are no retakes. You should be well prepared ahead of time. Tests and quizzes you're aware of well in advance, so make sure that you prepare accordingly. There we go. As far as grade correlation, this is just showing you how the allotment weighs out. Assessments, so tests and quizzes, are 55% of your grade, labs and activities are 35%, and homework, participation, so in those daily class discussions, that is 10%. As far as how the grades break down, a lot of times students will have difficulty with why do I have a B in the course, and when I refer back to this, they'll look and say, actually, yeah, that is explaining where I'm at in this course. I'll give you the chance to pause if you would like to look at that further, but I'm going to go ahead and move on. Absences. The biggest thing on here is prearranged absences. This is where students have the most difficult time with. So first off, it's very important to know that this course is very hands-on, very class discussion. The more class you miss, the harder it's going to be to keep up and to maintain a grade that you are happy with. If your absence is prearranged, this is very important. If your absence is prearranged, you are responsible for handing in anything you missed upon return. Meaning, if there is a worksheet that I am collecting, then you need to go to Schoology, do it on your iPad, or print it and hand it in upon your return. If there's a test, even if you've been out for 3 days, because the unit was posted on day 1, you're aware of the test, you're responsible for the material that you missed while you were out, and you will be expected to take the test upon return. Unplanned and excused absences, again, I'll let you pause and read that. That's pretty rudimentary. It's just the prearranged absences that students sometimes have difficulties with. You will have homework. You will have homework every night for 15 minutes. Even if it's not officially assigned homework, you should be reviewing learning targets or your notes for at least 15 minutes every night. With that being said, it shouldn't be more than 15 minutes. Homework is intentionally planned so that if you understand what you're doing to a reasonable level, 15 minutes should be all you need. Maybe 20 minutes if you're struggling a little bit. If it's 30 minutes that you've honestly spent on homework, no TikTok, no texting, no dance parties, no Netflix marathons, you've honestly spent an honest to goodness 30 minutes on your homework and you're not making progress, put it away. Chemistry is not your life. It is not. Your life doesn't revolve around chemistry, and it shouldn't. Put your work away. This is the important part. Send me an email. Let me know that you're struggling. I may be able to give you a hint or something that will help, and you'll be able to complete it, or we can schedule a time for you to come in and get help. Along with that as well, I said you'll have homework 15 minutes every night. Even if it's not official assigned homework, you should be reviewing learning targets, going over past warm-ups, looking over worksheets or labs. If you study 15 minutes a night every night, then the day before a test, you should only have to study for 15 or 20 minutes. If you do 15 minutes a night, you've already addressed most issues or areas of concern that you have, and so you can spend the 20 minutes the day before the test going over those difficult areas that you're still not quite sure of. Projects and labs have a 10% per school day deduction for being late. Homework, like I said, email me if you're struggling. That's the only way it will be accepted late, is if you email me ahead of time. Again, I told you it was going to be a big theme. Get help. See me. I am available for help during first lunch, 5th period, however, not on Tuesdays. So 5th period every day but Tuesdays. And 7th period. 7th period I have a study center, so I'm available every day during 7th. I'm usually available as early as 7 a.m. and as late as 3 p.m. However, it's important that you check with me ahead of time because there are some mornings I may need to be preparing for labs and I don't have time to sit down and go over chemistry, or there are some days after school that I have meetings I need to attend. So before school and after school, I'm usually available, but just touch base with me ahead of time to be sure. You can also see another science teacher. I'm not going to get offended if you ask someone else. If you really enjoyed Ms. Matnides for biology and you find her helpful, go to her for help. I'm okay with that. We also have academic lab. The academic lab schedule is posted underneath my clock in the back of the room. It's also posted on the front board up by the phone pocket. NHS offers peer tutoring. This is beneficial because these peer tutors that you would be paired up with would be those that have already had chemistry. So they're familiar with how we teach chemistry here, and the process we follow, as well as what the tests look like. Finally, like I said, email me. If we can't find something, if those times don't work for you, I will work with you to see what we can do to get you the help that you need. Hopefully this has helped to reduce some of the stress and anxiety that you may be feeling about chemistry. It's a fun class. We do a lot of labs and fun things. I hope you enjoy your year.